All right, back for day 2 here at Knoebels. Ace Flies with the Phoenix, day 2, 100. And I've got a behind the scenes tour coming up. So let's go in and check it out. Now, for this event, you had to sign up for a behind-the-scenes tour in advance. So I was able to get the flying Turns behind-the-scenes tour. So that's going to be fun. Now, a bit of a note to this. I've been informed that videography is not permitted during this tour, but photos are. So I'll take lots of photos and we'll throw in a montage shortly. It's about 9:30 in the morning. It's a pretty quiet place for 9:30 in the morning. Another tour group walking on the track while we're waiting for our tour. I've been informed that the previous tour is running a few minutes behind. Okay, and as we exit the restricted area, that was neat. Hope you enjoyed all the still photos I was able to take. We now join the Water Cup Challenge, already in progress.
It's crazy how good people are. I don't get it. It's so fun. This is fun only. I haven't had to do it. You'll never catch not trying to lose.
so it's time for some ERT, some exclusive ride time this morning, and we're gonna start out here on impulse. Why not? I've got my camera card, I'm ready to go.
Thanks for being good all times. Thank you and enjoy your ride.
Go!
Woo!
Back in cover.
Dispatch.
Oh God, we do dispatch.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I really like that ride.
Yeah, I doubt they're gonna get another one.
Welcome to the Impulse. Please hold on to the lap bar and keep your back against the back. Enjoy your ride.
Yeah, the sun is bright. Woo! Here we go. Woo! All right, we've got impulse in for the first ERT of the day. And now this is gonna be a new credit for me. Kozmo's Curves. It's a kiddie coaster, and I haven't done it yet. Right. 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 That's right. Wow. Let's see.
We good to go?
Woo!
Okay. Here you be.
Woo! Here we go. Woo! None of us were brave enough to put our hands up. Yeah, there we go. Kozmo Curves, new credit, kiddie coaster, done. That's good stuff. Now, what else can I get into? You can see way off in the distance you got some folks on the behind the scenes tour for the Twister lift hill. You can see them right up there. Look at that. But that was one heck of a walk. missed. Yay, I got one. Two. Five. All right. Eight. I think that's it. I don't think I'm not gonna make it to 9. Okay, I got through the carousel. Got 8. Count them 8. Not quite 9, but 8 rings. And at least some of those got into the lion's mouth. Not all of them, but I just threw them all at once. Over the Skooters, the best bumper cars in America, according to USA Weekend.
It's one way only. Please enjoy your ride.
He's trying to kill me. Let's destination of death.
Cars have the ace magnets on the back of them. That's great.
Keep turning. Gotta keep turning the wheel. Try the other way.
There, he's helping. He's stuck.
Keep turning, Ryan. There you go.
29.
Keep turning towards the knee. Keep turning. There we go.
The red and black one.
Congratulations, and it's one way only. Your left leg is your pedal. Remember that. Thank you and enjoy your ride.
There we go. Oh, you're number 1. Whoops.
Sorry, you can see it there.
Yeah. It slipped, I swear. Uh-oh. I'll spin around here. Come on, there we go. Woo! Whoa! Woo! Oh! I'll be here if you need me. Come on. Oh! There we go. Lucky 13. Oh, yeah. Oh, woo. Skooters ERT added some wild bumper cars. Those are crazy. Those are great. They got a lot of kick. That's for certain. That's great.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Knoebels. I hope everybody's having a great time today. Great. Today we are here to mark the Flying Turns as an ACE roller coaster landmark here at Knoebels. How about that? We're super excited. Not only is ACE hosting our regional event for here in Eastern Pennsylvania, ACE Flies with Knoebels 100. which has been attended by over 500 members, which is fantastic. We're super excited that you've all decided to come and share this moment with us. In a moment, we're going to have a couple of individuals come up from both ACE and Knoebels. So first up, we have Josh Brown, who is ACE's Preservation Director. And also Dave Connor, who is ACE's Historian. So I'll pass the mic off to Josh.
Safe flying turns, but here she is. You know, what a special day. You know, we've done a number of these, and it's really rare that you get the opportunity to truly do a one-of-a-kind, and that's what we're here to celebrate today. There's a one-of-a-kind in flying turns. There's so many people to thank. Mike Bootley, John Fetterman, who are both here in the back. Guys, give a wave. Jim Martini, the folks at Structural Technologies, and of course the Knoebels family for all the years and patience that it took to put this thing not on the track. I have a lot of members of my team here from history. Dave Honor, Andy Stein, David Honor, Derek Shaw, my preservation team, Sarah Windish, and I know Stacy Singer and Corey Bailey are here somewhere. From ACE's Executive Committee, I see Rob Askoff in the back, who's responsible for Roller Coaster Magazine. Elizabeth Ringus, our president, is here, all to celebrate this momentous occasion. So I'm going to turn it over to Dave Honor, who's going to read the plaque, and I think we're going to have the family unveil it. So big round of applause.
Thanks for everybody for attending here. This is a truly special day. The flying turn it's a one of a kind. There's none other out there like it, and none has ever been built since the 1930s, 1939. So this is truly wonderful experience. We're experiencing history, even though it's a modern roller coaster. So without any further ado, I'm going to read the plaque. ACE roller coaster and unveil the plaque. Roller coaster landmark. American coaster enthusiast ACE recognizes flying turns at Knoebels Amusement Resort as an ACE roller coaster landmark, a designation reserved for rides of historic significance. For many years, park owner and president Richard Dick Knoebels wanted to recreate a unique ride experience that had frightened him yet thrilled him in his youth when he rode the original wooden model Flying Turns roller coaster in Cleveland, Ohio. Knoebels noted roller coaster engineer John Fetterman, who is with us today, meticulously engineered a concept for just such a ride experience. It was inspired by Norman Bartlett. Norman Bartlett designed flying turns that operated in Chicago, Illinois from 1934 until 1967. Like the original models from the 1930s, the new version would feature a layered wooden trough where freewheeling bobsled-style cars would zip through the ride spiraling course. Jim Martini of Knoebels oversaw the entire project in-house, while construction was supervised by Structural Technologies Incorporated and vehicles concepts provided by Dynamic Designs. Wooden roller coaster designer Mike Bootley, who is also here, was brought in to assist with the vehicle and structural changes to help fulfill Dick's longtime dream. With Bootley, the team was able to come up with the perfect concept for the ride vehicles to safely navigate the twisting wooden course. The vehicles were manufactured jointly by Ashland Technologies and Larson International. Flying Turns became a true labor of love for Knoebels. After 7 long years of perseverance, testing, and several redesigns, Flying Turns finally opened to the public on October 5th, 2013. Each of the 4 trains consists of 3 2-passenger inline seated broadside vehicles with an aeronautical theme. Climbing to a maximum height of 50 feet, the 6-passenger trains reach a top speed of 24 miles per hour, while racing through the twisting, heavily banked wooden trough of the ride circuit, giving passengers the illusion of greater speed along its 1,300-foot course due to the tight, winding turns. That's a mouthful there, I know. Ace applauds the Knoebels family and all involved in it for boldly recreating a lost-style wooden roller coaster design that hadn't been built in America in more than 70 years. Presented by American coaster enthusiasts during Knoebels' 100th anniversary season, July 25th, 2026. Thank you for creating such a wonderful experience for us to enjoy, and probably for generations to come. Thank you again.
We are both humbled and honored, to receive this fantastic award. I remember very clearly the day in October 2013 when it opened, and we had quite a crowd here during Fun Fest. And the first thing I thought of was, for the first time in 7 years, I don't have to answer the question, when is it going to open? But nonetheless, we're very privileged to have this Flying Turns plaque along with the one over by the Phoenix. Thank you so much.
So all of you know we are very prone to flooding. So as we take a beating for not, I guess you say, for having so long to build a Flying Turn, 7 years, I do have to say, during that time we had a couple of floods. So we had to pull the crew off of here to go put the park back together, so each of you had a place to come and enjoy life, forget about life for a little while, and make those family memories. So yes, it did take a while, but there's some other things that were happening. Growing up, we've all heard of Edgewood Park, right? And my dad would ride the School of Mines, and said he felt it was the greatest family ride he's ever ridden. Then I would say to him, well, what's the greatest ride you've ever ridden? Without hesitation, he said Flying Turns. So then when Dad proposed this to us years ago, through John Fetterman, and I remember a story Dad saying, I want to do this. I want to do this. And then I remember a story a few years later, Mike Boodley called me and he said, what is your dad nuts? Your dad crazy? I said, what do you mean? He said, he just called me and said he wants to build a Flying Turns. What was it, 2.5 hours, Mike? Something like that, 90 minutes, 2.5 hours. Mike tried to talk Dad out of it. He said he hung up the phone, he said, I knew Dick Knoebel, John Fetterman were going to build the Flying Turns. And there it is. Thank you all for coming. Tickle Pink. Dad is here. Dad is absolutely present with us for multiple reasons. Because of this, because of all of you. Look up. Look at the weather. Gorgeous. The 10 o'clock closing tonight. And in addition to that, I have to leave because we're getting ready to open another lot. 487 is still bumper to bumper. So, Dad is here. So, thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. That concludes today's ceremony. You're welcome to take pictures of the plaque. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day here at Knoebels, and we'll see you at our next scheduled activity, which is the meet and greet with the Knoebels team, starting at 3 o'clock at Pavilion F. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the meet and greet. This is something that we do every year as part of A's Flies with the Phoenix, which is our annual event at Knoebels. And this is kind of your opportunity to hear from the different team members and staff that are at Knoebels in the different departments. Luckily this year, earlier this year when we were proposing and talking about this event, I said, invite whoever you want from any department you want, and they came through for us. So you have a great opportunity to talk to several different teams today and the heads of those departments. So if you're thinking about rides, games, foods, whatever the case may be, now's going to be a great opportunity to talk and kind of pick their brains on that. All right, did everyone enjoy the behind-the-scenes tours this morning and this afternoon? We had great weather so far, knock on wood. We'll continue to have it for the rest of the weekend. We're about halfway through this thing. You guys all right? Yeah. Anybody need a breather? No. Keep going. Well, we're just excited to have nighttime ERT on the Phoenix in total darkness. So if you've never experienced that before, you will get to experience that tonight. We'll also have the flying turns on our ERT plus Roto Jets and Paratrooper. Yeah, Roto Jets and Paratrooper. Plus we'll have snacks. We'll have tri-taters at the round stand right next to Paratrooper. And then the big old mill, which is next to the round stand, will be ice cream. And we'll also have drinks available probably at the round stand. Let's hand it off to the Knoebels team. So please introduce the El Presidente, which he absolutely hates that term, Brian Knoebels.
Off on Rick, right? So hey, sorry. So Mike said let's go do a Q&A, and I'm gonna pivot and just throw him a curveball. It took a little time to type something up, but because we were parking cars, I didn't have any time to study it, read it, things like that. So I'm gonna pivot there, just like everybody here had a pivot today. So thank you guys for jumping in and helping wherever you could. The entire Knoebels team. So, on behalf of the Knoebels family and our entire team, welcome back to Knoebels. It is truly a pleasure to have you once again. Thank you. Thank you for providing gorgeous weather. More on that in a bit because I think Dad had something to do with it. While we're out there parking cars today, they're coming in. You know, Waze and Apple Maps and all these different places, you know, they reroute you. And we just had him coming in 8 or 9 entrances, and he's up there, just like Aunt Leanna said. So he challenged us, but we stepped up. I know we made him proud. So, you know, thank you for making the trip here to the metropolis of Illiesburg. Thank you for your passion for preserving coasters and history. Thank you for the incredible support that you've shown our entire family, not only when it has to do with Knoebels, but also, you know, with the passing of this legend we know as Dick. So, thank you. And people often ask me, what makes Dick so successful? Or, sadly, at some point I have to say, what made Dick so successful? And they expect me to talk about his engineering mind, or his ability to solve problems, or his knowledge of roller coasters. But the truth is, the man simply cared. It's as simple as that. If something wasn't running right, he cared. If there was a board on one of the coasters loose, he cared. If a guest wasn't smiling, he cared. If the Phoenix made a sound didn't seem quite right, he cared. He wasn't chasing awards. He was chasing doing things the right way. That's why people respected him. So of course, each one of you have shown the Phoenix an incredible amount of love over the years. An unprecedented 7 consecutive Golden Ticket Awards. Thank you. Thank you to anyone that won. But it's also about the thousands of fans recognizing the same philosophy that Dad had. Take care of it, respect it, and never stop making it better. As I mentioned yesterday, 12 days ago, we were blessed to bring Dad back to the park one last time. As we drove through the Grove, hundreds of our employees quietly lined our midways. We never asked them to. They were there because they wanted to. They wanted to pay their respects to him. He wasn't just their boss. He was their other dad. He was their uncle. He was their friend. He respected them. They respected him for his down-to-earth demeanor. Being in the trenches, it's empathetic leadership at its finest. That send-off was absolutely one of the most poetic and perfect things these eyes have ever seen. As Rick and Dad and I rolled past the Phoenix on the golf cart, we said, look at that. 42 years ago, when you flew to San Antonio and were walking underneath the rocket, did you ever think that someday it would have the golden tickets that it does? Did you ever think it would have done so much to change who we were, put us on the map? You want to know his immediate reply? Because it wasn't about the awards. His immediate reply was, I couldn't have done it without John. So think about that for a moment. He could have said, yeah, with that infamous shitty grin, you know, but he didn't. He acknowledged one of the greatest minds, not only at Knoebels, but in our entire industry, in John Fetterman. That's the humility of Dick Knoebels. So like I said, he didn't chase awards. Awards chased Knoebels. Awards chased the Phoenix. Awards chased John Fetterman. So now, as I kind of said earlier, he's here. He's absolutely working today. And Dad is still very much with us. You want to know why I know this? Because, show me some hands. Who here likes history? All right. Boy, maybe me too. Sorry. So, on that same trip 12 days ago, after Dad brought up John Fetterman, he said on that first visit to San Antonio, he said he took a Forstner bit and he drilled into some of the lumber on the rocket. And he said, that's fresh. So, you guys like history? There's the drill.
Wow.
No, you can't have it. So, yeah, Rick and I are just going through his house a little bit, coming across things, and, you know, we got all the time in the world to ask Dad questions. Hey, what's this? What's that? We didn't need to. The guy's immortal. You know? PAPA was this year, and I kind of said, the way he treated his body, being in the ditch, being on the roof, the go, go, go mentality, he probably should have died 30 years ago. But, so we didn't need to ask him questions. He's going to live forever. So Dad, thank you for also raising your hand and loving history. So then we continued this drive, and I couldn't help but realize something. Dad spent, when the hundreds of employees were lined up, that was just fantastic. And I couldn't help but realize something. Dad spent his entire adult life taking care of this place. But on that morning, this place was taking care of him. It was the waves, it was the salutes, the fist bumps, the blown kisses, the hugs, the immense respect. As I said, Hollywood could not have written a better script for that final visit for a beloved father. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for loving this park. Thank you for loving the Phoenix, the Flying Turns, the Twister, all the rides, the games, and thank you for loving Dad. Now, go ride the Phoenix. Now, my big brother, even though I look much older, my big brother.
Thank you, everyone. I'm sure that some of you have a lot of questions. Should we open it up? Any questions?
Oh my.
No, we're not looking at Mike. It's been 10 years since our last coaster. When are we going to get our next one? Well, we're working on it right now. The buyer's here. Yeah. Go ahead. He was asking about Leap the Ditch, which is the one time the oldest operating coaster in the United States.
Right across the state.
Yeah, it's right in Altoona. I've been on it a bunch of times. I need to schedule a chiropractor appointment before I ride it every time. But we have not given it some serious thought. All right. You had a question earlier and I missed it. I'm sorry. How do we prioritize the different rides, whether we need time for a children's ride or a family ride or a thrill ride? I don't know. It kind of feel in your bones more than anything else. We'll certainly talk about it. Sometimes when rides become available, that's the answer. Sometimes when a ride is introduced at IAPA, there's things like when the Power Surf was first introduced, we went, that is a great looking ride. Same thing with Access, when we had Access years ago. There's a great story that some of you already know about the Flying Tigers. But there's other things like when the Rocket Plane became available down in Texas, we were able to bring that here. So sometimes it's an availability thing, sometimes it's a price point thing, sometimes it's whatever's new, but it's not necessary. We don't have a 5-year plan to go, we're going to get a children's ride 3 years from now.
When we sit, I think you know this, but when we sit together as a family, it's not a board of directors meeting, it is a family meeting. So for all of you that hate those corporate parks, yeah, it's a family meeting. Oh, okay, all right. We created a PowerPoint presentation of about 16 rides and attractions maybe, and made a green light, a yellow light, and a red light. Which ones we want to continue talking about, which ones maybe we want to pump the brakes, and the red light, well, that got put in the circular file. One of the, Leanna and Stacy brought up a good point, one of the topics is the sky slide. So, I mean, there's a ride that's in a roundabout way going to fall into our lap. We're not Knoebels without a sky slide. We talk about capacity, and we talk about, trying to build up the checkbook a little bit. Is that going to do that? No, it's not going to do that. But it's part of who we are. It's absolutely, that's Knoebels. How many living rooms have we all been in? And you look on the mantle, and there's a picture of 2 generations, maybe even 3 different generations riding the sky slide. Well, we're absolutely going to bring that back. So it falls in that same category.
You saw that the Super Roundup is coming back. Yeah, it's being worked on. So that, by the way, came from a carnival up in Quebec. And we had it here for a number of years, but it needed an overhaul. I think it may be there. But it's being worked on. We hope to bring that back. It'll be over, as I understand, it'll be back at the food court area where it used to be. Well, all right, this is all about the Golden Nugget, which was at, it was over Hunts Pier in Wildwood, New Jersey. And our dad would take us to Hunts Pier back in the 80s when we were kids. And we spent a week at the beach. And we hit Mariners Landing and Morris Pier, Hunts Pier, and Sporting Pier, and Nickel Pier, and it was a lot of fun. And but the real magic we thought was at Hunts Pier, that had a number of great rides, including the Golden Nugget. And he thought that was the best family coaster there was, and he absolutely loved it. He always would take us on it. For those of you who don't know, it was the only steel coaster that PTC ever did. It was built over the winter of 59-60, but he absolutely loved it. And when it became available, we started talking with the Morris organization about acquiring that. And for what kind of shape it was in, well, they built that mountain out of asbestos. And we really did not want to get an asbestos abatement in the state of New Jersey. So we worked out a deal. I was like, we'll buy the coaster, but not the mountain. And so they cut a big hole in the mountain, and they had they had like a fire hose on it constantly to keep the fires down. And we went loaded the track and brought it all here. We brought the barrel here, all the trains. There was some work that had to be done. One of the issues was on the roof, and maybe John Fenneman can speak on this one. So the top floor of the Golden Nugget was outside in Wildwood, and here we put it inside. And where it was outside, the floor was tilted at 2 different axes, so that water could drain better. And it was a bit of a math problem to make it straight again, to have a flat floor. So we had to get all the ledgers right. Did we hear about Area Force 1 closing? Brian, I'm going to give this one to you.
I'm going to pass that on to Mike.
Oh yeah, when's the Baron Curve opening?
Rick's famous line of, that's a great question. I'm sure there's some other great questions out there. So, yeah, we are aware of Area Force 1 closing. Our family is friends with John and Tracy Airy, and they've been in contact. And, they even sent some maps of the whole lay of the land here at Knoebels. Hey, it would look great here, or it would look great there. So they've actually been superimposing the coaster here at Knoebels, as has Hunter Novotny from Rocky Mountain. They've been doing the same. So I open the text, I read it, and I mark it as unread, and move on to the next challenge these guys challenged me with. Well, nothing's out of the question, right? Heck, this is a guy that moved a roller coaster from Texas. You move one from Georgia.
So the question is, next year will be the 80th anniversary of the rocket opening. So the rocket opened in 1947. And the question was, are we planning to do anything for it? I'm not sure if we've had any conversations about it, but that's something that is definitely good to have on the radar. So maybe we will in the future. But I think as of now we haven't talked about it. But it's definitely something that's interesting to look for.
One of the things, all of you enjoy the timeline when you walk through Flying Turns Q line, right? So. We put on Stacy's review every year to have a timeline as we go through the queue line at the Phoenix. So maybe next year will be a great time to see a timeline as you go through the queue line at the Phoenix. What do you think about that? No pressure now.
All right, I think we can take one more question. Let's go. Come on over. Come on down. I know you got a good one. That's why I did this. Maybe. He's growing.
I know, I am.
All right, what is your question?
When will the sky slide open?
When will the sky slide open?
When it opens. So, we're not the best park when it comes to timelines. Not sure if you know that or not, right? John doesn't think Shock's face. So, it is our hope that it'll be ready for opening day 2027. That is our hope. In a perfect world, right? That's the hope. So one of our park artists, Jerry, said to me, it didn't take me long to realize there are 3 openings in a season. You have opening day, your second opening day is Memorial Day, and your third opening day is July the 4th. Hopefully we'll get it on one of those opening days. That's the plan. The turtle chase, that's going in. That started at Westview Park, and then went to Conneaut Lake. Now it's here. So the history that's there. Go to Pete's Fleet. And this year they have 100th anniversary flags in the back. But typically, of the nautical letters, it actually spells out Knoebels. Not sure anybody, they're a little hidden Mickey for all of you. So, I don't know, it's just, to me, it's the stories. It's the story of Dad going to Fontaine Ferry Park to bring home the Paratrooper. He couldn't, he went by himself. He went to buy a different ride. By the time he got there, the ride was already sold. And he was like, I guess I'm here, I'll buy this one. So he rented a forklift down the street, and at that time, you could drive the forklift right from the rental company, right down the state highway. So he did, he got to the park, he began to dismantle it, called back to Pete Knoebel and said, I need 2 trucks and 2 guys, send them here. Well, in that amount of time, the forklift, it was a Sunday, and the forklift was broken. Couldn't get it fired up. And he's diagnosing it, and he said, it's the points. I have to go file the points. Now, where in the world am I going to find something to file the points? Because the park was closed. They took all the toolboxes out. The rental place was not open on a Sunday. He said, where in the world would you find something like this? He said, you know what? Probably under the roller coaster, there'll be a fingernail file. He walked over to the roller coaster, he started pacing back and forth, found a fingernail file, walked back, filed the points, fired the forklift back up, started to disassemble the ride when the cavalry had arrived, and they just immediately started loading it up, put it on the trucks, drove it here. You didn't need Department of Agriculture. You didn't need all those various government organizations. I think I'm told that I was here about a day and a half, 2 days, and we opened it. So it's all of those stories combined that kind of my favorite. It's each one a totally different story. So I don't know. Maybe I rambled, but again, that's that guy we know as Dick. Yeah. Hey.
All right. Another big round of applause for the entire team here at Knoebels. The efforts from all the departments to make this event a success. And then promptly at 10:30, we will kick off ERT with lights off on the Phoenix, flying turns, Roto Jets, and Paratrooper, and snacks. Tony, do you know what the ice cream flavors are tonight? Oh, it's a secret, it's a surprise. We'll see. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you at ERT.
Here we go. Woo! That's always fun. That's the best one ever. At least that I've been on. It's also old. Maybe that's why. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, ERT on Paratroopers. Roto Jets. Okay, we got a stick. Here we go. Not sure how this works. Guess we'll find out. Good. Going around and around and around. I can't even reach the stick. With my foot, maybe. Woo! I have to work it with my foot. I can't reach that. Forward goes up, or forward goes down, back goes up. Woo! You go down. Go up. I get about as far up as I go. Okay. Honestly, I think I've had enough of these spinny around rides. It was fun though, but once was enough. Now we got some time Phoenix ERT with the lights off. We're all here at the station. There they go. Oh, so close. Woo. Nobody there. Dark, there's the moon.
Holy cow. 25 times.
There you have Phoenix in the dark. Filmed in extra dark vision. And let's head over to Flying Turns, part of our ERT tonight. See if I can get on that before the evening is through. I only have till midnight. And I think it turns into a pumpkin. Flying Turns. Hello.
Hello.
I get this. Do I win a prize?
Yep.
All right. Yay!
All there. The levers.
They're just stickers.
Wait, turn this dial, we go faster. All clear.
Get ready, because here we go.
Dispatch, enjoy your ride.
Bye. Woo! Like runway lights, kinda. Maybe that's what they're going for. Woohoo! Yeah! Oh, nice.
Welcome back. Please don't pass 15 buildings. Be American Girl. Investigation to the rest. Thanks for getting over. Monitor your attention on board. Thank you. Guarding friends now warning. Fasten your seatbelt.
Okay, that was fun. That was fun. But it's officially midnight, and that means our time is up. So it's time to head out through this dimly lit closed amusement park and head back to my hotel. But let me say, I had a blast. I know I say that a lot, but I had a really good time over these 2 days. And it's downright exhausting, but it's a lot of fun. This has to be one of my favorite parks. It's very unique. Great rides, unique rides, family run. And a lot of this here, you know, that's the legacy of Mr. Dick Knoebel. And what a legacy it is. This park is truly a gem. And I can't express how much I appreciate everything the Knoebel family does, the Knoebels team does, especially to accommodate us for this event. It's just awesome. Awesome. Super awesome, really. But either way, that's gonna do it for day 2 here at Knoebel Phoenix 100. So like, subscribe, mash that notification bell, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.